Alright, now like I was saying in this class, it's a little bit different than our normal classes. Our normal ones are a little bit more hands-on, and you can obviously make this hands-on as well in case you already happen to have your own, KW website or Placester website, however you want to consider it. Alright, but if you do want to rewatch this later on so you can start and stop everything, you can always go to slmtraining, like I have highlighted down here, .com. Alright, so that way you can rewatch this at any time, and it will be later, or not later, it will be available a little bit later today as well. Alright, so in order to find your new KW website, alright, the first thing you need to do, and I'm actually utilizing an example on here of one we're setting up today. Alright, so this is slightly different than the one that we did before where it was already set up. Alright, what you need to do is log into your MyKW account. Alright, so your KW website is going to be linked up underneath the MyKW account. Alright, and once you log inside your MyKW account, you can hover over Technology in the black up here and go to KW Websites, about that fourth one down. Alright, so you can hover over Technology in the black and go to KW Websites, the fourth one down. Alright, now whether or not your MLS is already launched or anything, this is where you can also view when your rollout is scheduled, so you can get some time to prepare as to when it's going to launch. Alright, so I'm going to click on KW Website, the fourth one down over here under Technology. Alright, so I'm going to click on that real quick. I want to make sure you guys are able to log in. Alright, and then it'll say Introducing your new KW Agent website. Alright, so this will kind of just give you a little brief overview as to what the website will look like. As you can see, it's responsive, so it'll look good over on desktops, on laptops, on tablets, on smartphones. Alright, so as you can see, it'll kind of change the look on here. Alright, it's going to look very, very clean. Alright, if we scroll down, it'll give you a couple ideas as to what you're going to receive with this. It's a very quick setup, which is the good part about it. Alright, we have great site designs on here. You can add in your own custom branding. Alright, it's responsive, so on any platform, it'll look good. Alright, we'll talk about the natural language search on here. Alright, and then you can also blog on it too for SEO. So if you're trying to figure out how you're going to rank over in Google, Bing, Yahoo, MSN, any of the different search engines, they have a blogging feature on here as well. Alright, now down here you can learn more about Placester under the product info section. Alright, you can find some on-demand training under KW Connect. Alright, or I'm going to go ahead and click on this right where it says Rollout Schedule. Open that up in a new tab up here. You can also click on the Rollout Schedule to figure out alright, whenever your MLS is going to launch. Alright, so I clicked on that, it opened up a new tab, so I'm just going to look at this real quick. Alright, then this will give you the idea as to when all these different MLSs are going to launch. And actually, we had a good amount recently. So it was 6 in Phase 1. There are a good amount in Phase 2 over here. Alright, so if you're in any of these MLSs from, West Pasco all the way up to Austin, alright, then you have officially launched right now. Alright, and as you can see, this will launch anywhere between April 25th to the 30th. So since today's the 27th, it may not have launched quite yet for you. Alright, but it will launch anywhere within this week. Alright, and more than likely it probably has launched already. Alright, now a couple things to note though. One, in order for your new KW website to work, you have to have a KW.com email. Alright, you don't have to use that KW.com email, but you have to have one. Alright, and two, your MLS ID has to be in the white pages. Alright, so unfortunately, and I wish there was a way where you guys could add it in, but unfortunately only admin in the office that have admin privileges can add this inside. Alright, so if your MLS ID is not over in the white pages, or if you're looking on here and you're supposed to be launched and you aren't launched quite yet, alright, double check those two things. The one thing you can double check is that you have a KW.com email. Alright, and then contact your market center administrator or the front desk person or a team leader, alright, to see if your MLS ID is over in the white pages as well. Alright, because that's what kind of will link it up as to when you can launch on here. Alright, of course you can scroll up and down to find when your board might launch. You can also do Control F if you want to find something on here too. Alright, so in this case, maybe I'm going to say Central. Alright, so if I type in Central, then Central Arizona, for instance. It's in Phase 4, it's launching on May 16th to the 21st. Alright, so you have your different options right over here. All right, then you can see the rollout phases as well if you start to roll up, or sorry, not roll, scroll up and down on here. All right, so it looks like we're going to have 2 weeks before the next one launches. All right, so that's where you can actually find your website rollout schedule. Now, once again, you do have to have your KW.com email set up. So if you don't, hover over Technology, go to KW email, and make sure you send that in and get it set up immediately. All right, so I'm going to go back over here real quick to where we were. All right, and if your website is set up, then you'll see this right down here where it says your new website is ready. Go to my website. All right, now if your website is not set up, then it'll say something along the lines, I don't know the exact terminology, but it'll basically say that it's still being built. All right, so if you don't see an option on here where you can click on Go to My Website, all right, then yours is still being built or your MLS hasn't launched quite yet. All right, so I'm going to click on Go to My Website so we can access the back end. All right, we're actually going to set up this account today to show you how simple it is to set everything up. All right, so I'm going to click on Go to My Website, and then that'll open up our new Placester back office over here. All right, so right over here it says, congratulations, your site is now created. Here are some suggestions on what to do next. All right, you can set up your IDX, you can preview your site, or you can continue editing. All right, so I'm just going to go and click the X button on here, so this will automatically set everything up real quick. So it'll automatically set this up for you. All right, so I'm going to X out of here, and don't worry about this right over here. I'm going to minimize that for a second. All right, but this is the back end of your Placester website. All right, so the first thing we're going to see over here is actually our site. And it looks like he's already linked up with, I believe at least based on how many listings are on here, it looks like he's already linked up with the IDX. I didn't think he was. But there you go, it looks like he already is. So that works out. All right, but you can actually see here's an idea as to what your site's going to look like. Here's kind of a, they'll just give you like a little preview basically. All right, this is just like a thumbnail. All right, so you can change anything on here. It won't look exactly like that. But you can preview the site. You can go through. You can edit any of the details. All right, we will, once we're ready to go, we will need to launch this site. All right, and then don't click the delete button. All right, otherwise you'll delete everything. All right, so make sure that you leave that as is. All right, so for the time being, I'm going to go and click on the View Details button over here so we can go through and start to edit the site. All right, everything that we're going to focus on today is actually going to be underneath this little Site tab up here. All right, there is a marketing option in case you want to look at any of the different Placester marketing items, or you can look at reportings on your site too, or any leads that have come through. All right, and then there is a My Account section where you can update your information as it'll display for Placester. All right, but that won't display online, so you want to make sure that you go to the View Details section of your site so we can update this even further. All right, so I'm going to click on View Details real quick. All right, and that takes me directly to the back end. Now, of course, if you're under your site, you can always come right up here, right where it says Site, and hover over Site Settings to go to the different options as well. All right, and they'll literally just go in order as to what you can select over here under Site Settings. All right, but if we scroll down, we're going to have all the information we can add in, and some of the biggest stuff we'll want to worry about is right under here under Site Settings. All right, so if you want to add new pages, you definitely can. As we talked about before, you can add inside new blogs. If you're on a team, you can add inside new agents. All right, if you have testimonials you want to add over from your current websites, you have a testimonials option. All right, or if there are any area pages you want to add inside, you can do that too. All right, but the main thing that we're going to worry about today is really just the site settings, because I want to show you how simple it is to get it all set up. So we're pretty much going to go down the list just to take a look at everything on here. All right, so first thing first, we have IDX integration. All right, so this is where you can actually go through, select your MLS, all right, and then you can send off the IDX paperwork so your IDX will work on your website. Obviously, what good is a website if people can't search for properties? All right, so in this case, the KWLS, all those KW listings should display on here for you, all right, but you probably want to have all the additional MLS listings as well. All right, so I'm going to click on IDX integration real quick. All right, and rats. he's linked up with a region on here. All right, so if I wanted to, then you could technically go through, as you can see, you got KWS, that's selected. All right, I could go down here if I need to request a new integration. And you can always click that request option. All right, as you can see on the right-hand side, it says most of the time IDX integrations are completed in less than a week. All right, but if I click on request a new integration, then you can actually search by your state and then your MLS. So for this particular agent, they're in Florida, so I'm going to type in Florida. All right, we'll search for their MLS on here. It should be My Florida. See if that comes up. Yep, My Florida Regional. All right, so it's very simple. Just type in your state and your MLS and click the Next button. All right, you can then put inside your contact information. So I'm going to add inside their contact information real quick. I actually have that written down over here to help fill this out for them. I'll put in Keller Williams Realty for the office name. I'll click the Next option on here once you add inside your contact information. All right, and there's one additional thing. Unfortunately, I don't have this information for them, so I'm going to get stuck at the next section. All right, but there is one additional item that's slightly different than the one we've had to do before, because now it's going to ask for your agent ID, so your MLS ID. All right, but then it's also going to ask for your broker email. All right, unfortunately, I know the broker email, but I don't know their agent MLS ID. All right, so in this case, you would need to know your particular MLS ID. In some cases, some MLSs, I think, have it as the NERDS number, NRDS number. Some have it as an MLS ID. It kind of depends on where you are. All right, then you'll need your broker email as well in order to submit this off. All right, because then once you click Next, then it can send off for you. Now, depending on your MLS, just to give you a heads up, depending on the MLS, what's a good way of saying this? That'll depend on whether or not you have to actually purchase an IDX. All right, I know some boards it's free to have an additional IDX. I know in some other boards you do have to purchase it. All right, I know some people said it's like $100 a year, $200 a year at their board. All right, and some people said no, it's free. We can have as many IDXs as possible. All right, so depending on your MLS board will depend on whether or not you'd have to purchase a new IDX for this website. So I know that can get a little intense having potentially 3 IDXs for your eEdge, eAgency, and now Placester website. All right, but all you have to do is put inside your agent ID and then the broker email. All right, and then all you have to do is click the Next button and you'll be all good to go. All right, so I just wanted to go over that real quick on how you can actually get that sent off. And they do have right over here, if you're having trouble, read more about how to request an MLS integration or email at support@placester.com. And at the end of this class, I'll actually give you all of our information, all the different kind of support numbers and emails, including Placer's as well. All right, so just to give you a heads up, I'll give that over to you too. All right, so I'm going to dismiss this real quick. All right, but the second option down over here for listings are actually global filters. All right, so you can actually, as you see, decide which listings you want to show on your site. All right, so if there's certain items that you don't want people to be able to search for, all right, then under global filters, you can decide that. So let me see if this will be activated on here for him. Perfect. Yep, so it's not coming up right now because he doesn't have that, unfortunately. All right, if he was linked up with My Florida, then he would be able to actually look at all this. But as you can see, he can view all the different listings. So right now there are none because the MLS isn't on there. So I'm going to uncheck this. Yeah, it won't do anything. All right, but if you want to go through, you can actually filter for listings on here too. All right, so you can go through, you can add in particular criteria that you want people to meet. All right, you can also go through. So if I click on this, for instance, if I say, I want people that are able to search for, a minimum of 2 baths, all right, or a minimum of 2 bedrooms, or a minimum price range of this. All right, so you're able to go through and add that inside so that when people start searching on your site, they can only go for that. All right, and you can add as much as you want to over here via the add option too. And once your MLS is linked up, and everything is set up properly, and you have that IDX on your site, then down here in the search results, it'll actually display, and it'll have all the listings that are currently active on here. All right, so that's the good part about that. All right, or you can even go through and just choose specific listings. All right, so if you pretty much just want to utilize this, then you're more than welcome to. All right, so as you can see, use global filters to determine which listings in your MLS to display on your website. Check the box under all listings if you want to display all MLS listings on your site. All right, or you can go through and specify your own. All right, so I'm going to continue without saving. All right, then you can also specify which featured listings will display over on your home page. All right, so you can actually go through here and you can find your own listings if you want to, or you can add in particular ones. All right, so if I click on featured listings, as you can see, it's exactly the same as what we did before. All right, over inside the global filters, you can come through here. You can look at and filter the listings if you'd like to. You can do specific listings over here too. All right, so you can add in whatever you want to. All right, so it's pretty nice how you can actually go through. You have complete control of this, all right, as what's actually displaying on here. All right, so it's kind of hard, unfortunately, on this account, since it is a brand new account, to kind of show you this. All right, it was a little bit easier whenever it was actually completely set up. All right, so I could actually go over that. But for the listing portion, you do kind of have to wait until that IDX is activated. All right, and same for open house info. This can only be added over to single property sites. So on this particular site, since it is a website, we wouldn't be able to do anything on it. So once we click on it, as you can see, this feature is only available for single property sites. All right, so I'm just going to dismiss out of that altogether. All right, so the biggest thing that you can first start up and do, all right, under listings, is to get your IDX integrated immediately. All right, so that's the biggest part about this. All right, now the next thing down over here is site design. All right, and site design is where we're going to spend a good amount of time today actually going through and kind of designing everything. All right, so for this one, the first thing I'm going to do is click the theme selection option up here at the very top, just so we can take a look at our different themes that we currently have. All right, so I'm going to go to theme selection at the very top of here. All right, once I click on theme selection, then it's going to give us 8 different themes now. Now, this is one of the big differences from last week's class, all right, because you now have an additional theme that you can choose. Now, there are 2 KW themes on here. You have the Madison theme, which is number 7 out of 8. All right, it's only for KW agents. All right, and then if we click the arrows, either left or right, to kind of move up, all right, you now have a new one for Madison Metro. All right, so there's another one over here. That's really for KW agents to utilize. All right, so we have Madison and then Madison Metro. All right, but if you keep going through, then you'll have Plymouth on here as well if you like that one a little bit better. You have Fremont. Click one more time. You have Franklin. Phoenix. Sedona. Toronto, and that's the last one actually. Sorry, I'm so used to there only being 7, I apologize. And then you have Madison again. Alright, Madison is the main one that you might want to utilize on here. Okay, so it's the main one, just to give you a heads up. Alright, so I may highly suggest utilizing this one. Alright, so I'm going to leave this as is, and of course for the Madison one, then we can choose our color down here. But only under the Madison and Madison Metro can you then select the page header, all right, our KW specific one, all right, and then put inside a little display that will go over the slideshow. All right, so in this case, I don't believe this agent has a slogan that I saw. I'll double check real quick though to see if I can add that inside for him. All right, but I'm going to leave this as red on here, where it says choose your color, and I'm going to leave this as the red at the top. I think that one looks pretty nice, so I'm going to leave that as is. All right, and then for enter the statement to display over your slideshow, I'm just going to put inside here, welcome to my website, just to give you an idea as to what this will look like. I'll put an exclamation point. Now, you are limited to 60 characters. A character is anything that'll take up a space. You see over here. Yeah, I didn't receive anything from him, unfortunately. That's okay. Alright, so I'm going to click the Save option down here. Once I click that Save option, that'll update everything for me on my theme. Alright, so that's kind of the different themes that you can utilize. You have 8 different options on here as to what your website will look like. Alright, and while we're doing that, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to launch the site real quick. So I'm going to click Launch Site, just so this will be active and everything. I'm going to pull this up and view the site. I'm going to go back to my view details for a second. Go back to where we were. I'm going to pull this up so we can take a look at this. Alright, now we can actually take a look at what our site looks like. Alright, so here's the KW website. Alright, here's the background of what everything's going to look like. Or not KW website, KW logo. Here's the red at the top. And here's our slider going on. This is what we just added in. Welcome to my website. Alright, as you can see, lstanica.kw.com. Alright, it's kind of linked up in this case with your @kw.com email. Alright, so I believe that's the way that it's looking right now from everything that I've seen on here. Whatever your kw.com email is what the website will be, so it kind of keeps the same branding for you, similar to what the eEdge email does with the eEdge website. Alright, but we're going to leave this on here just so we can come back and take a look at it later. Alright, and of course, if you had your featured properties on here, then this is what it would display over here. You know, here's all of your featured properties from the MLS. You have a blog down here as well. Alright, here are just some blog posts that you can basically leave on here. You can delete, you can do whatever you want to. If we scroll down even further, then they have an option to get in touch with you. Alright, but we're going to populate this so more information will display, but I want to leave this open so we can see all the changes that we're making. Alright, so the next thing on here that we're going to take a look at is then slideshow. Alright, so those images that are kind of scrolling in the background right behind where it said welcome to my website. Alright, so I'm going to click on slideshow real quick. Alright, and this is where you can go through and you can add one of their stock template slideshows, or you can add inside your own. Alright, so as you can see, if you want to, you can click the plus sign on slideshow over here, and then you can add in your own right away. Alright, so you aren't kind of bound to the different images that are on here, but make sure if you are adding in your own images that you have rights to them. And I've seen a bunch of people add images over to their website, they didn't have a right to put it on there, and then they end up with a nice letter saying to take it down and here's a bill for using the images, so don't do that. Alright, so over here, I'm just going to go ahead and utilize some of the images they already have on here. So we have the default slider, kind of compilation on here, group. Alright, if we scroll down, then we also happen to have interiors, or if you want to add in some different interior photos. Even further down, we have luxury properties. Scroll down even further, the one I'm going to select is the mid-priced homes. That usually kind of goes across the board for a couple people. Alright, and then you finally have nature. I think that's the one, I guess the one wasn't selected. I'm not sure which one was selected. Probably default, more than likely. I didn't look. Alright, so I'm going to click the select option on here to select this real quick. Alright, once I click that green select button, alright, then as you can see, you can come up here, you can name your new slideshow if you want to update it, you can delete some of the images on here. There'll be captions that display at the bottom. Alright, so you can change those captions if you'd like to as well. Alright, completely up to you in this case. Alright, but I'm going to leave this as is right now, but in case you do want to add inside your own images, as you can see right up here, images must be at least 1600 by 660 kind of pixels. Alright, so that's the width and the height. Alright, so 1600 by 660. So if you guys want to jot that down, I may suggest it. Alright, in case you're looking at kind of getting this all set up, maybe you want to tweak it even further. Alright, but I'm just going to scroll to the bottom and select this. Alright, so we'll click the save button on here. Alright, so now let's go back over to our website and take a look at what this looks like. Alright, so I'm going to refresh the page. Alright, once it pops up, as you can see in the background, now we have the mid-priced homes that we selected, now kind of scrolling in the background over here. Alright, so I want to show you how everything kind of updates on here and how it kind of affects what we're doing. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do now is take a look at our certifications. Alright, so I'm going to click on certifications, and you can choose up to, I believe it's 5, maybe it's 6, let me double check on here. Now, there's a limited amount that you can actually click on, unfortunately. All right, but if I click on that right over here, then we're going to have all of our different certifications that we can select. All right, and as you can see, if we come up here, you can show certifications on your website if you want to by clicking this little checkbox. All right, and as you can see, up to 6 logos. It's 6, not 5. All right, so you can display the logos for certifications you've earned in order to help site visitors understand your areas of expertise. All right, and as you can see, it'll display just above the footer on your website. So in this case, I'm just going to go through. Didn't specify what certifications he was, so I'm going to say ePro just for the time being. Well, I'll add in a couple, and then I'll change them. Equal housing opportunity, anyone can add that inside. Let's say CRS. I'll just add in those 3 real quick. All right, so I'm going to click the Save option just so we can get an idea as to where they're from. All right, now once again, all right, if you change anything on here, you can update this at any time. All right, so don't feel like you're just kind of bound with what's on here. All right, you can change this at any time. All right, so I'm going to click the Save button. And once again, let's go back over to our website. So now refresh this and see exactly where this displays. All right, so I'm going to scroll down now that we're on our website. It's at the very bottom right above the footer, they said. So if I scroll a little bit further down, all right, here are all of our different logos. All right, so for all the different designations. All right, we're all good to go. All right, so I'm going to X out, not X out of this. I'm going to go back real quick. So that's where our certifications are. I'm going to change this out real quick. Don't know what certifications they have, so I'm going to leave it as equal housing opportunity. And save that real quick. All right, then the next item we can add inside are social networks. Now, they do offer more social media options. All right, so more social media options than the other current websites KDB provides. All right, so instead of just asking, well, actually, to tell you the truth, I think they offer a couple less than what eEdge has over on their website, but they actually have Instagram on this one. I think they have like Yelp. I don't know if eEdge has that. All right, so they have a couple other social sites that I think people will probably utilize than some that are over on the other websites we currently have. All right, now once we click on social networks, all right, right over here under social networks, it says add links to your personal or business social media accounts from your website. Icons for each one will display on your website in the header and the footer. All right, so for the time being, I don't know exactly which one, sites they might have. They didn't specify, so I'm just going to put inside some test ones real quick, just so you can get an idea as to what this will look like. All right, and that's good for right now, but all you have to do is put in whatever comes after, facebook.com/, twitter.com/, all right, anything of that sort. So then I'm going to scroll down just a little bit further down here and click the Save option to save this so we can get an idea as to where this will display on our website. All right, so once we click the Save button on here, all right, then once again, we're going to go back to our website, refresh the page so we can get an idea. All right, and we're already at the very bottom, so here are those 3 icons, and they are clickable ones. If you can see, I hover over YouTube. It's kind of hard to see it. It's a YouTube icon down there, but then at the bottom left of the screen, I can't move my cursor, unfortunately, to show you, but at the bottom left of the screen, it'll say www.youtube.com/Keller Williams. Same with Facebook. All right, same with Twitter. So if you click on that, it'll take them over. All right, or if we scroll all the way back up to the top, all right, then up here at the top left, it'll have those icons as well that they can click on. All right, so it's nothing too flashy, nothing that stands out too much. All right, just something to have in the background. All right, but I just want to show you how you can add that in. And of course over here for the search form, all right, you can select the fields that you want in your search forms. All right, so in this case, much like we were talking about before, under that, right up here under listings for global filters, what will actually display on there when people start searching for it. All right, well, for search forms over here, you can actually specify what they can and can't search for. All right, so if I click on search forms, oh, I apologize. I'm thinking of something else. That was global filters. My apologies. All right, in this case, since we're utilizing the Madison theme, they have something called the Omnibox with Auto Suggest. All right, so if I actually click on this, it'll give you an idea as to what it does, or just hover over it. So if someone types inside like BET, for instance, then it kind of does what Google will do, where it kind of auto-suggests what you're looking for. All right, if you've ever been on YouTube, it does the same thing as well. All right, so you can literally go to google.com and try that out. If you start typing in, like, say, Keller Williams, then all of a sudden, once you start to type something in, it'll start to suggest what you're looking for. All right, or it does it on my iPhone all the time when I start to type stuff in, too. All right, now this is only available on the Madison, and I believe the Madison Metro. I haven't checked, but I can only imagine it is, because it's only available for those 2 KW kind of themes on here. All right, the other themes that you have available would not have this on it. All right, to customize your search. All right, so as you can see, select the fields you'd like in the search form on your home page. All right, well, with the Omnibox, we don't have that option, unfortunately. All right, but you do want to utilize this one if you are using the themes. It's the only one we can use. All right, so as you can see, then here are all the more filters down here. All right, so I'll click that save option, but if we go back to our website, this is what the Omnibox is. All right, so if I start to type inside Orlando, Florida, so as you can see, I start typing in, and then it started to pop up. All right, so that's what the Omnibox is going to do for you. All right, so in comparison to having to go through and say, hey, this is the bed, this is the bath, this is the price, kind of going through all the drop-down menus and everything, just slightly different in this case. All right, now the next thing we have over here is our menu. Oh, sorry. Yeah, menu, I'm sorry. I thought I skipped over something. I didn't. All right, so the menu, if you've ever utilized a WordPress site, is what's going to display at the very top. All right, so right now, for instance, if we go back to the site, at the top up here we have Home, Listing Search, About, Blog, and Contact. All right, so if we ever add a new page and we want to add it up here, then we can add that as a new menu piece. All right, but in order to change the menu, we'll click on the menu option on here. Once I click on menu over here, all right, then you can see all the different menu sections that we currently have. All right, so once again, Home, Listing Search, About, Blog, and Contact. All right, much like we saw up there. All right, so if we want to change the order, maybe we want to put, Blog above About. All right, we just click on whatever we're wanting to move. So I'm going to hold down my left mouse button, and then I just drag it. All right, now if you want to put one below the other one, all right, I'll show you exactly what I mean. So kind of like a sub-menu. All right, say if I want to put Blog underneath About. All right, then I hold down Blog, and I just put it on About. All right, so as you can see now, About is kind of the dashed outline. So if I click on that, then it slightly indents Blog. All right, to where it's under About. All right, of course, you can go through, you can add inside your own as well. So if you wanted to, before I click the save button, you can go through. If you're rewatching this at home, I apologize, this bottom one's cut off. All right, but then you can add inside the different pages available. So we've got About, Blog, Contact, Listing Search, all right, your favorite listings, all right, or custom URL. You can actually add inside your own custom URL as well, all right, in case you want them to go over to a particular kind of website. All right, so in this case, if I click on custom URL and I click the add option, all right, it adds it right inside. All right, the label is going to be the name that will display for this. All right, so in this case, for the label, I'm just going to type inside Scott Leroy Marketing. All right, then the URL we need to put inside that http://. All right, but then we can put inside our entire URL. All right, so let's get an idea as to what we just changed on here. So we moved the blog underneath About, and we add inside a custom URL. So I'm going to click the Save button real quick. All right, let's go back once again to our website. I'm going to refresh the page. All right, we're slowly getting everything built up here. And then this is going to change right up here. All right, so now as you can see, blog is gone, and now we have Scott Leroy Marketing over here. So if I click on this, it's going to open up a brand new tab, a brand new window, and take you over to wherever you were trying to direct them to. All right, so in this case, it directs it directly over to my website. All right, but what happened to the blog? All right, well, we put that underneath About, so if we hover over About now, all right, then the blog is kind of a sub-menu item. It just pops up right over here. All right, so those are some of the different items that you can actually do on here. You can kind of completely customize everything. All right, so I'm going to go back to the menu. I'm going to delete that. I highly doubt they probably want a link over to my website on here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move this back out. All right, and save that for them. All right, and then finally over here under the site design, you have the site info, and this is going to be one of the more crucial parts because this is where you can add inside your phone number, your email, your name, your tagline, your headshot, your logo. All right, there's a lot of information that you can add inside here. So I'm going to click on Site Info, and this is where we can really get into kind of the meat of everything that's going to display on here. All right, so once I click on that, then you can go through here. You can add inside your brand name. If you happen to have, a team name you want to add inside, you're definitely more than welcome to. If not, you can just put inside your name if you want to as well. So in this case, I believe it's Lauren. All right, you can add inside your tagline as well. I'm going to put inside your Central Florida Realtor. All right, so if you happen to have a slogan or anything, you can add that right inside. All right, and then you can even upload your own logo if you'd like to. Now, he's using that red background at the very top in the Madison theme, so that's why this KW logo is white, so it stands out. All right, if you want to, you can upload your own file. All right, if you happen to have a JPEG, PNG, or anything. All right, or you can come over here and you can select a KW logo as well. All right, so if I click on Select KW logo, it's going to give us all the KW logos they currently have. All right, so if you see that yours is on here, you happen to have your own branded one on here. I don't know why that's kind of out of order. You can select that. If not, you can just scroll down to the bottom and it'll have it available. All right, they even have a luxury one too. All right, now if you're utilizing the Madison theme and you have the white header, you'll want to use the KW logo that has the red KW and then the gray Keller Williams below so it stands out. All right, because if we just use one that has white, then white on white it won't display. All right, it's just going to look blank. All right, now if you're looking or using the red background that we were when we first set up the site theme, all right, then you want to utilize the white logo on here so that way it kind of contrasts against the red and you can see it. All right, so we want to leave that as the white, and it's very simple. Just click on it and then select. All right, now in this case, at the header, you can display the name. All right, so your brand name and your tagline. You can also display the logo. So I'm going to click on here to do both. If you want to add inside a favicon, however you want to call it. All right, much like up here, where you see this little Placester icon, or you have the KW logo. All right, if you want to add inside your own up here, you're definitely more than welcome to. All right, all you have to do is just click the Upload File option. That'll upload here for you. And then you can upload whatever you'd like to. All right, I might suggest like a KW logo similar to this one, as you can see up here, if you happen to have that red background with the white KW or the black background with the white KW. I've seen those before too. All right, if not, I'm going to leave that blank for the time being. All right, and then you can add inside your contact information. So in this case, you can add inside the name, the email, all right, the phone number. You can add inside dashes, dots, spaces. You can add inside some dashes on here. And I put in dots as I said that. Sorry about that. All right, and then you can even upload your own headshot too. All right, so I'd highly suggest having your headshot on file on here. All right, so if I click Upload File, right there, I can come right over here. I already have their headshot ready to go, so I'm going to select it from my desktop or laptop or tablet, wherever you might be using. And once you click on that, then the headshot will add right over for your photo. All right, so we've got our contact details taken care of. If we scroll down even further, then we have the office details as well, where we have company, email, phone, address, city, state, zip. All right, so for company, you can put inside whatever you want to. At least Keller Williams Realty. I'm going to put in Keller Williams at the Lakes. All right, for email, I'm going to put inside his email address again. I think they actually go by Keller Williams Realty at the Lakes. There we go. All right, phone number, I'm going to put inside his phone number one more time. That's that way people contact him. All right, and then address, you can put inside whatever business address you'd like to. You can add inside whatever you'd prefer on here. All right, so it's very simple. Just add inside your company information. All right, and then finally down here you have SEO for the meta title and the meta description. All right, so for your meta title, you can put inside whatever you want to add in on here. All right, so maybe I just want to put inside Lauren Stanica, Realtor, just to have for the home page on there. All right, the meta description can be up to 160 characters, and this is what's going to display over on Google, Bing, Yahoo, MSN, any of the search engines. When they happen to find your website, this will give them an idea as to what the home page is about. So maybe I'm going to put on here search for properties in the Central Florida area with Lauren Stanica of Keller Williams Realty at the Lakes. I just found out I've been misspelling the name. There's actually a TIU on here, so I'm going to go back up here and update this real quick. I apologize about that. Perfect. So I just reread it back over their information on here. All right, so I'm going to click the save option down here so then we can take a look at what this does to our homepage. I'm going to click save real quick. All right, your site info settings have been saved. And if I come back over to the homepage, I'm going to refresh this. All right, as you can see up at the top up here, first thing first, now it says Lauren Stanica, Realtor. Before it just had a dash on there. All right, so there's our title. If we come over here, or Lewin 2, it's got the name. All right, we have our slogan down here, or tagline. Right over on the top right up here, we've got the name where they can email us, our phone number. Here's the headshot. All right, if we scroll down a little bit further, once again, these feature properties will pop up once the IDX is activated. We're going to go past the blogging section, get in touch. Now here's the name, phone number. This is how they can email us. And if you look at the bottom left, it gives you that mail to option of the email. Here's the headshot again. And if we scroll even further down here, all right, then we see, all right, here's their name, email, phone number. All right, here's the office information, office address, phone number again. All right, so there's plenty of ways for them to contact you now. All right, so now we've gone through, we've got this entire homepage kind of set up. All right, so it's looking a little bit better on here. All right, and then the last options that we have down here for more are for lead capture, custom domain, site tracking, and site verification. So we're going to go through this relatively quickly. All right, so for lead capture, you have 3 different options as to how you can capture leads. All right, you have aggressive, passive, and then you have your own little kind of custom one. All right, now aggressive means that once they come on here, all right, then we're going to basically capture their lead information. All right, so I'm going to click on this real quick so we can take a look at what I'm talking about. Oh, it looks like they only have those 2 options on here right now, probably because they don't have the IDX set up. All right, so as you can see, passively capture leads, aggressively capture leads. So if it's passively capture leads, which is what we have set up right now, all right, so as you can see, visitors can view property details without submitting a contact form or registering on your site. Now, if we aggressively capture leads, visitors are blocked from viewing property details without submitting a contact form or registering on your site. All right, so we have those 2 options currently available on here. All right, and then right over here it says lead forwarding. All right, so once we get a lead, how do we want to receive information on it? All right, so email forwarding will BCC all leads generated by your Placester site to one or many addresses you specify. It's a great way to send your leads to third-party CRMs. All right, so in this case, I'm going to add inside his email that he's using. All right, we'll leave it as passively capture. That's fine. And I believe once the IDX is set up, then you can actually go through here and specify based on, how long they've been on the site, how many beds and baths they've looked at, how many properties they've looked at. All right, so there's a bunch you can actually take a look at. But you got to get that IDX set up first. All right, if you want to add multiples in, as you can see, just put in a comma, and then you can add in as many as you want to. I'm going to click the Save option, so we can save that real quick. All right, now everyone's going to have their own, typically it's kw.com domain on here. All right, or you can add inside your own custom one. I would highly suggest, if possible, to go out and get a custom domain from GoDaddy. In fact, if you go to Google and you type in GoDaddy and then 99 cents, so $0.99, you can get a custom GoDaddy domain for $1.17 the first year. All right, then after that, I think it's like $15 a year. But it's well worth it, because if you ever decide later on to, get your own website outside of this new one, all right, then you don't have to change your branding. You don't have to change any of your any of your business cards, all right, any of your marketing, all right, any of your printed pieces. All right, because then your domain will remain the same. You can just move that over to a different website. So as you can see, he currently has lstanica.kw.com. All right, so that's kind of the general KW website kind of domain on here, ending in .kw.com. All right, but then if you want to add inside your own custom one, you just add inside the domain over here, and then you can go through the steps to forward that over. All right, now if you need help with that, just let us know, and we can actually help to forward this over for you. In fact, we have a form that you can fill out that will allow us to get everything set up for you right away. But you do have the option of adding inside a custom domain on here. All right, and then finally we have site tracking and site verification. All right, much like the eAgency website or the eEdge Pro account, you can have Google Analytics on here too. All right, so if you click on site tracking, then you can go through, you can add inside your Google Analytics tracking ID, or you can add inside your conversion tracking. All right, so that way if you want to stay up to date with how many people are coming over your website, what the bounce rate is, what pages they're looking at, how long they've been on the website, all right, where they're potentially coming from, all right, then you can set this up. And once again, this is something free that we set up for you guys. And we do have a form that you can fill out so we can actually set up Google Analytics, whether it's on your Placester site, your eAgency website, or your eEdge Pro site as well. All right, and then finally, you do have site verification. So you can actually verify you're the owner of this site over on Google Webmaster Tools, Bing Webmaster Tools, Pinterest, or Google+. Right now, we do offer Google Webmaster Tools because that's kind of the main one everyone utilizes to get this set up. So if you do want Google Webmaster Tools set up where you have verification on your website, we can set that up for you too. Once again, we have another form you can fill out and we'll get everything fixed up. All right, but these are some other options that you currently have available. All right, now obviously the website that we set up today is just kind of a basic website to get it up and running. You can go through, you can add in new pages if you want to. Or you can update the different pages on here too. You can add in new blog posts. All right, and obviously adding inside blog posts is a great way to produce SEO for your website. If you're on a team, you can add inside additional agents on here too. All right, so you can spotlight them. You can add in your own testimonials. All right, or over here you can also add inside different areas that you work in, kind of different area pages. All right, but once again, we kind of took this website from nothing and changed it into this. All right, so to give you guys an idea as to what a website, let me see if I can remember the domain on here. This is the website that we were previously utilizing. All right, so as you can see, very, very similar. This is what it looks like with the white at the top up here. And he's got more social media options. And he has a link over to his mobile app on here too. If you scroll down, he's got the same type of features on here. Here's what the feature properties will look like. Or same type of slider, I'm sorry. That's what the feature properties would look like on here. Scroll down, same type of blog section too. All right, and then same thing with getting in touch. All right, so you have a couple different ways of actually going through and utilizing this site. All right, but we kind of took this site from nothing to setting it up. Yes, it took about 50 minutes or so. All right, but that's because we were going a little bit slower to make sure everyone saw everything. All right, but you can set this up however you want to, and completely up to you in this case. All right, but this is what your website can look like very fast. And now, hopefully, after seeing this, whenever you do happen to get your website, it'll be very simple to go through here and kind of update everything and add in everything right away. All right. Well, at the end of each class, I always like to end with this. Let's scroll down a little bit. All right, and these are all these support numbers and support information that you might need. All right, so all the support information that you might need. So you've got KW support, eEdge support, .loop support, Placester support, as we were talking about before. Our support email to contact us directly. All right, and then the website to rewatch our 3-hour MyKW training classes. The website for our advanced training classes, similar to this one. All right, and then the website for all of our tips that we create each week on the MyKW platform. All right, so I'm going to leave this up a little bit longer so you guys can jot all this information down, and hopefully you guys were able to learn a little bit about the new Placester website, whether you are currently in the launching phase, all right, or whether you're about to launch and you just want to know how you can work with everything. All right, but hopefully you guys learned a little bit about the new website and how you can kind of get it set up right away. All right, it's very, very simple to get set up, which is the good part. All right, if you guys ever have any questions, feel free to contact us. We can help you out. All right, and I'm going to leave this up a little bit longer so you guys can jot down all this information. All right, well, thank you so much for coming to this class. We will have another one of these classes next Wednesday where we'll pretty much do pretty much the exact same thing. We're going to be doing pretty much the same thing through June for everyone as they start to receive the websites. They can come over here and learn how to set everything up. So if you want to rewatch it, you can come back to another live class, or you can rewatch this later tonight at slmtraining.com. Just look for Placester 101/27. All right, and I will see you guys very, very soon. All right, well, have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you guys at the next training class on Friday.